1964 Crimson Tide football captains Galen, McCullough, and Jackie Sherrill share their recruitment story.
Galen, go ahead.
Well, I actually had committed to Georgia Tech, and I was going to go to Georgia Tech and become an architect because I grew up in the construction business, meaning my dad was a plumber, and the shovel and I were real good friends, I can tell you, during that period of time. But I was going to become an architect, and I had committed, and then Coach Bryant came along, came to our house one night, and I told him, I said, Coach, I've already committed to Georgia Tech. And in his usual manner, he didn't speak right away. He just kind of dropped his head for a second, and then he nodded his head, and he said, that's not a bad idea. You win a lot of ball games. You'll get a good education. But he reached over on his finger, and he pulled off a ring, and he handed it to me. And he said, but if you ever want one of those that says national champions, you come to Alabama, and I guarantee you'll have one. So I had just played on a high school championship team, so I had a bit of a taste of that championship stuff. And so I changed my mind, and I went to Alabama, and Alabama didn't have an architectural school, so I went into medicine as a second choice. And so here we are.
Wow.
Well, at that time, Alabama was has won or was winning the national championship in '61. They came to Biloxi and trained in Biloxi before they went to the Sugar Bowl. So Coach Bryant came down, and I had a high school teammate, Lynn Patterson, that he came down and recruited both. But he was the only coach that didn't say things different, and he never asked me to come. I don't know if he asked Galen to come, but he never asked me to come to Alabama. He just talked about the players, talked about Alabama. And so it was different than the other coaches that came and visit. And I just said, I'm going to go to Alabama after the visit. So kind of like Galen and all of them, Coach Bryant had a way to saying things that you didn't want to disappoint